I'm Dave.
And I'm John.
With Unfiltered Gaming. Today we're playing Ophidian, a deck-building LCG presented by hackandslashgames.com. A standard match runs 20 to 30 minutes for between 2 to 4 players. The decks consist of 6 basic elements, and players spend resources generated each turn to play cards and abilities.
Victory is achieved when an opponent has no gladiators left. A player reaches 15 cheer. A player reaches 12 victory points. Or the opposing player has no cards left to draw. In Ophidian, your deck consists of 50 cards and up to 4 gladiators, worth 10 victory points in total.
The player's deck will consist of 4 types of card: gladiators, your main hero; minions, your weaker summonable creatures; pump-up cards, your buffs and debuffs; and quick hit cards, which are your reactionary cards.
After players have constructed their deck and placed it on the field, they set their victory points to 0, their cheer to 0, their resources to 11, being 10 plus 1 for the first turn, their starting gladiators in the supply field, and any extra gladiators in the gladiator stack.
After both players have completed setup, they roll off to see who gets first turn, or in this game, momentum. After momentum is determined, each player draws cards to their maximum hand size, base value 7, and 2 extras. 2 cards of the player's choice are then put back onto the bottom of the deck.
During a player's turn, they can take a few actions. They can move character from one field to another, activate abilities, play cards from their hand, and declare attacks.
Play cost is listed in the top left corner of the card. The resource cost is in the white circle, and the discipline level is listed next to it. A player must have gladiators with discipline levels equal to or higher than this to play a card. Also listed on the top right of the card is the momentum symbol, which determines whether a card lets you continue playing or allows the opposing player the next action.
Card's abilities are listed below the card's artwork, and its base stats are below the game text. The red value shows health, the purple shows rage threshold, and the yellow shows attack damage.
When an attack is declared, the card is set, and its damage value is resolved against the target's health. A gladiator's attack generates cheer, unless it is blocked, in which case the opposing player receives the cheer instead. A block may only be performed by a gladiator.
If the attacking player targets a card in the action field, any other gladiator in that field may set to intercept the attack. If the target is in the supply field, any gladiator in the action field may choose to protect without setting the card. Gladiators in the supply field may also set to protect another card adjacent to them.
After declaring a target, the attacking card resolves its attack against the target's health. If the target's health is below its rage threshold, it is enraged. If set, the enraged card will unset, or, if the card is unset, it will deal 1 damage to the attacker.
When a player has momentum, they may play minions, quick hit cards, and pump-ups. Minion cards are additional fighters that have an upkeep cost, attack, health, and their own abilities.
Quick hit cards are instantaneous effects, and pumps are debuffs and buffs that stay in play as long as you keep the upkeep cost paid.
There are 4 types of momentum modifiers on cards. They can either have a plus, in which case you keep the momentum, a minus, in which case you lose the momentum, a question mark, which can be either a plus or a minus depending on what the card text says, or an R, which is a reactionary card that's outside of the normal sequence of play.
If both players choose not to act, or are unable, the wave ends. After a wave ends, the steps of the breather begin.
The breather starts with determining momentum. The player with the most wounds on gladiators begins the next wave.
During regenerate, all cards are unset, and players may discard as many cards as they want from their hand before drawing cards to their maximum hand size plus 2. Then, 2 cards of their choice are placed onto the bottom of their deck.
Maintain comes next and allows the players the choice to pay upkeep cost or remove a card from play. Promote allows a player to level up a gladiator of their choice.
Finally, maneuver lets the player choose to move their cards between fields. At the end of the 4th wave, the player with the most victory points wins the game.
And now let's get into the review. So what did you think of the game?
There are a few talking points I feel we could cover. For starters, the deck construction. It's 50 cards, so it's a little bit less than you might see in other games, but it does lend well to the quick nature of the playthrough.
Yeah, but I also like the fact that you get to pick 4 characters that kind of shape how your deck plays out.
And it is nice also that your resources are included in the playfield and you don't have to worry about cards just for them.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about as many cards when you're building it for, meshing sake, I guess.
And as far as the other rules go, based on the deck construction, it's pretty upfront how it's set up, and the rules are quite concise when it comes to certain things. We had a little difficulty in connecting certain symbols to certain actions, but once we did, it made perfect sense.
Yeah, and the VP system is also interesting, the way you get to choose your gladiators at the start. You're given 10 points to spend between them, and they can have kind of a variable value between 2 and 4. And there are pros and cons to using either a more or less expensive gladiators.
The starter decks, though, with the set gladiators that they had, it feels like the gladiators in one of the parts were a bit more powerful than the others. And as far as our playthroughs went, it seemed like the biogen deck seemed a little bit underpowered.
Yeah, in our playthroughs it did pull away a little bit. That being said, the starter decks do feel decent to the point where you can pick it up and play. Most people without huge disparity in skill should have a fairly balanced game back and forth. It feels pretty well balanced.
And I feel like most of the game actually fits the theme fairly well. It feels like you have your small team fighting, and then you'll have the minions be like an extra environmental hazard thrown into the arena for the gladiators to fight or deal with.
Yeah, the game really does mostly encompass your gladiator cards. They are the focus of it.
Yep.
The artwork, John?
Again, the artwork is pretty good for the most part. It was way better than like some other games I've seen.
Yeah, definitely a little better than expected.
A lot better.
Very strong, good cards, good quality. The rule set as well, pretty simple and well thought out, much like the artwork. It plays pretty quick. The rule book is maybe 4 or 5 pages long, so not too hard to grasp.
All in all, overall it's a very, very solid game, and I would definitely buy more decks for it when they're available.
Yeah, it seems like the game would really come into its own once you're able to build your own decks the way that it's set up. The starter decks do leave just that little bit of crunch left on the table for an avid player. But yeah, again, it would be fantastic if you put together your own and fought against a good opponent.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Unfiltered Gamer Review. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Check out our site, unfilteredgamer.com, and don't forget to visit our sponsors at everythingboardgames.com and thegiveawaygeek.com.
Please like, subscribe, and comment, and see you next time.
No slurring.
Thank you for watching Unfiltered Gamer Review.
Subscribe and comment, and see you next time.
Did I say Unfiltered Gaming? At the end of the 4th wave.
It's not like I'm looking at the camera and he's looking at that.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea to look at the same spot. I'm looking at when in attack.
Alright.
It's worth a total of 10 victory points for your set team of gladiators.
Well, that's going to be another section.
That's
This is pre-cut, right?
quick question. Should we say Ophidian, whatever the numbers they wanted or they have on it, or just Ophidian?
Is there numbers?
And that's how you say it, right? Ophidian?